Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, Adam, it is time for Tech Rex. What do you have for us this week?
I'm going to go back to the article we already talked about, and I'm going to recommend ChatGPT Search because why not? There's a ChatGPT app that you can have like running on your computer. You can run the search there. I'm gonna kind of add it into my workflow and just see if it improves or changes or whatever. Just for fun. So
I should try out one of these things.
Yeah,
you kids and your AIs.
Yeah,
I should get with that.
I tell you, man, it's like I think my favorite thing for ChatGPT at this moment is creating custom GPTs for each project that I'm working on, where I train it with like documents and like standard operating procedures and like the websites and all that stuff. And then I can ask it like more specific things related to that particular project. And like, it'll bring in like all the right information. Like a great example is I trained one to be the 48 and 48 help desk AI, right? So 48 and 48 is the nonprofit that I founded 10 years ago. And I trained one up and I put in all the documents. And then I asked the 48 and 48 help desk that is ChatGPT. I said, who is Brett? That was my question. Who is Brett? And it knew exactly who Brett was as a part of the 48 and 48 staff and like what he did, what his title was. Like it knew all the stuff about Brett because I had trained it on. I mean, it was just wild. So it's a powerful tool. And I use it, like I said, on a per project basis. So
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe my tech rec is ChatGPT Search and custom GPTs. Maybe that's my tech rec today. So there you go.
Interesting. Cool.
All right, Sanjay, what do you got for us?
So I've got a re-recommendation from a long time ago from episode 21, if you can believe it, way back in the day.
I believe it.
So it's the Sense Energy Monitor. I've gotten a new one. My old one we had actually gotten rid of because of the house remodel, but I'm seeing this problem again where it's like, okay, our energy bills are kind of off the hook and I can't figure out why. And so the Sense Energy Monitor, I've gotten the one. We've got actually 2 electrical panels because we increased our kind of power consumption in the house. So we've got 2 panels, but this one Sense Energy Monitor will monitor both of them. So for those that weren't listening back in episode 21, which, why weren't you? Sense Energy Monitor, what it does is it uses algorithms to figure out what devices are in your house over time. So it monitors the power consumption. It knows how much power is being used at any moment in time. Also what that is costing you then, but then it starts identifying which devices are which by doing that. And then later on, it can actually tell you how often those devices are on or off, what that device is costing you on a yearly basis. It does a lot of interesting things, but it'll also help you figure out if a device is going wonky and starting to consume a lot more power than is normal. Yeah. Because that might actually tell you that it's about to fail. Yeah. Which for some things like your HVAC system, very useful to know that before it actually fails, especially in the peak of summer here in Atlanta.
Right. Yeah. So here's what I'm wondering, right? So, I kind of feel like that device has the potential to sort of be a little bit like a psychic, right? So it could be like, all right, like when you're setting it up, I can imagine like how many people live in your house, and like ask you some basic questions. And then it's like, okay, I see you have a refrigerator. And then you're like, oh, wow, a church found the refrigerator. I see you have a dishwasher. Like, it kind of feels like I see you have a clothes washer and dryer. Like you have...
It's funny because it actually walks you through those things and asks you how many of those devices you have. So then it can be on the lookout for them. Then it'll tell you when those devices, and it'll tell you like how much always on stuff you have. Yeah. So like all those devices that are plugged in constantly using power. Right. I actually know what our always on kind of load is now in the house. Okay. And it helps you think about all of those things that are plugged in. Like, well, do these things actually need to be plugged in and always on all the time?
Great. Yeah,
or is there things that we should do to kind of reduce that power consumption load in the house? So
fair point.
It's neat. It's a cool device. To your point, there's some obvious things that everybody has that it's going to figure out. Yeah. But I think it's getting to the point where it can probably start identifying which model of device you can have as well based on kind of that power consumption characteristic. And then, as you kind of move forward, you can make better choices in terms of the devices that you buy and bring into the house to make sure that you're optimizing your power consumption as well. So
yeah, it's great.
It's a great device. It's a one-time purchase. There is no, that's the other thing I love about it. There is no subscription fee to this thing. It does obviously send all of your data back to the cloud. So Sense is obviously just kind of analyzing all that data. But I think that's where some of the power is, because they can help figure out and detect when things are going wrong and alert you to those things before things go horribly, horribly wrong in the house.
So when the power police come along and need to know who's consuming all the power, they got your name and number.
I mean, they already know that, right? Because they see how much we're paying for power every month. So it's like,
yeah, that's true.
There you go.
That's true.